Welcome to my channel, Blissfully Single Bean. I'm your homegirl Bean, and I'm your blissfully single one. Happy Sunday, everybody. This is my review for Ready to Love, The Last Resort. But before I get into that, I'm gonna need everybody to pick up their Sunday drink. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. My Sunday drink is a mimosa with Chambord, which is a raspberry liqueur, vanilla infused vodka, and of course your champagne and orange juice. But listen, we have to take a drink for the election and the results and the fact that I'm not crying in a fetal position with another 4 years of a Trump presidency. Instead, we finna take a drink to congratulate new presidential-elect Joe Biden. And let us not forget, history-making Kamala Harris as our new vice president. Let's take a sip. Ooh. You know what my mimosa tastes like? Victory. Ready to Love, The Last Resort. This episode is watch what you say, baby girl. Just watch what the F you say. Okay, the episode really didn't say all that. It's watch what you say. But every time I hear watch what you say, I can never get Whitney Houston's voice out of my head when she read Wendy Williams for Filth. Watch what the F you say, baby girl. Just watch what the F you say. A read of all time. That one should go down in the books. The episode opens up with Raymond. Raymond is the 52-year-old musician with the 5 kids. Child, okay. Raymond realizes he was on the chopping block last episode, so if he wants to secure his spot, he really needs to open up and make connections. So it's go time. He's ready to go. It starts with a conversation with Naya. I like Naya's energy. Naya has a really laid back, sensible energy that I really dig. She's having a conversation with Raymond. Raymond mentions that he has 5 kids. Naya's taken aback because Naya doesn't have kids. So not having any kids, talking to a guy who has 5 kids, child, not likely that's going to happen. But all right, I digress. Naya's trying to give it a chance. When Raymond mentions that he's a musician, Naya says, all right, this conversation is over. Naya exits stage left. And child, I do not blame her. Tommy walks in. Tommy gets the group together. Tommy lets everyone know this week the women hold the power. So the women will be able to send not 1, but 2 men home. Oh, this is going to get good. So now the people get to mingling, honey. The young, the sexy, what it do? Talking to somebody in his work in the room. The thing that's really significant about that scene is the beautiful hair and the nice fishnet boots. Anyway, Joy gives me, from season 2, Tandy with the incredibly beautiful big hair, and in the face, she's giving me Alexis. But child, I'm here for Joy, but Joy, as pretty as you are, I haven't seen you really make a connection with anyone, so girl, get to it. On the other hand, we flat pan over to Adriana and Rashid. They're playing pool. Adriana is here for everything that Rashid's goofy ass is trying to serve, which is extremely cute. And you see this chemistry with the two, and it's like, is the chemistry coming from the fact that they dated a while back? I'm pretty sure it is. But anyway, I'm here for it. Adriana mentions, you know, Rashid was looking like a tall drink of water, and she is parched. She also mentioned that they were playing pool, and Rashid taught her how to hold the stick. I'm sure Rashid did, girl. I'm sure he taught you how to hold that stick. All right now. Anyway, I'm here for Adriana and Rashid and that chemistry that is organic and coming through. Chris approaches Naya and asks Naya out on a date, which was really cute. And I have to say, this episode warmed me up to Chris, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Naya gladly accepts his proposal for a date, which is crazy because I'm like, all right, they're gonna be in a resort. How are they gonna date? But it's interesting to see the way that they did it. They can still date. They just go to different areas of the resort away from the other couple. So I'm like, all right, girl, Duh. Symone is the awkward attorney, and she realizes she came close to being kicked out of the resort last week, so she needs to do better in opening up and getting to know people so that she can stay in the house. But this is my thing with that. Symone was in the house. She wasn't able to make the genuine connections to keep her in the house. All right, that's one thing. However, my thing is, all right, Symone, I get it. You do need to open up to stay in the house. But my thing is, Symone mentions, and this is the theme, this is a big theme, this is one of the themes for the episode, that she needs to put herself out there. And it's like, to me, the fact that you're on the show is a major way of putting yourself out there. If you're guarded and people didn't connect with you, it's not about you not making a good effort. It's the fact that you have not found chemistry with someone else to keep your position in the house. So I think a lot of people are, Symone, Raymond, it's this whole thing about I need to put myself out there. You guys are already putting yourself out there. Now, chemistry, that organic part of attraction, that has to kick in. If that doesn't kick in and you don't connect with anyone, it means that there's nobody in the house for you. So I don't like that. I need to put myself out there. You're already putting yourself out there, girl. If you're not making a connection, you're not making a connection. It has nothing to do with you not trying, because you are. So then Raymond, the 52-year-old musician, has a conversation with Symone, the awkward attorney, and asks her out on a group date, to which she, of course, accepts. Pool party is announced. All right, pool party jumping off. And Brian suggests it. Brian is just yummy. Naya and Chris go out on a date. And I have to say, Chris rubbed me the wrong way the first episode. The whole pink suit thing with no shirt. There was a corniness about him. There was a pomposity at the same time about him where I'm like, yeah, I don't know about you. But seeing Chris and Naya's interaction this weekend, it changed my opinion of him. And it really warmed me up to him. So Chris asks Naya out on a date, to which she accepts. Let's go. And their date was really nice. They went to, I guess there's a lake on the resort, so they went kayaking. Child, I'm a Cancer. I was born June 26th, so I love the water. Child, if you want to get up in these drawers, take me to a date that involves the water and wine. Which is exactly what Chris did. It was really nice. It was really wholesome. You really saw them connecting. And Chris asks Naya a question about children. Naya does not have any kids, and her biological clock is ticking. So she's ready to put some beans in that damn oven. And Chris, I don't have the impression, I don't think Chris has any kids. Chris is on the same page with her. So it was really nice to see them on a date and connecting the way they did. I'm like, okay, I'm rooting for this couple. Plus, Chris was feeling the vibe with Naya, and he wanted to lean in for that soon as I get home type of kiss. But he said, you know what? I'm gonna be a gentleman. And the fact that Chris can exercise that kind of restraint, use a gentleman. I'm here for Chris and Naya. Rooted for y'all. Back at the house, we have a group of singles talking. Brian is there. Alex is there. A couple of other people is there. But the main thing with this whole scene, Brian is talking about his abstinence of 40 days. All right, let me be fair. There are two ways that I'm thinking about this. Brian is very good looking. So for Brian to be abstinent for 3 days is something that is to be commended. Yet and however, when I broke up with my baby's father, child, it was 3 years that I practiced abstinence before I got down to having sex again. So while it's admirable 40 days, child, I did it for 3 years, child. So with Brian, I'm impressed and not impressed at the same time. Irregardless of what I think, Alex was looking at Brian like, oh, he's looking like something to eat. She was looking at him like Alex was mesmerized. All right, Alex, I am not mad at you. That chocolate skin and that beard is something that, I couldn't resist. So now we're in a group date. This is the group date that Raymond's the 52-year-old musician, suggested to Symone. It's Raymond, Symone, it's Alicia. Alicia is the thickums with the tattoos. And it's Joy is David. And I think it was one more person. It is one more person. He was the bald-headed one, but I cannot for the life of me remember his name. So they vibing, they drinking, they talking. Raymond asks, how is everyone feeling about the journey? And this is when Symone opens up and says, I thought I was going in a good trajectory, but I guess I was guarded. And Symone talks to David, and Symone says, actually, I thought I was in good standing with you because you were in one of my top 3 picks. David said, I had no idea that I was one of your top picks because I felt like you weren't as attentive to me. Again, with Symone, it's the same thing. She has her guard up. Then Alicia jumps in. Alicia's the thickums with all the tattoos and said, well, that was the same with me. I really liked you, David. I was approaching you, but it seems like you really didn't like me. See, that's not something that I would ever say in the context of this dating game, because if I got the impression that somebody didn't like me, all right, he didn't like me. I'm not what he wants, so it is what it is. For me to kind of throw it in his face like there was a problem there. There was no problem there. He just wasn't feeling you. Maybe he doesn't like thick girls. Maybe he doesn't like light-skinned girls. Maybe he doesn't like tatted up girls. There are a million different reasons, but I'm not going to press him for not liking me when I'm trying to get his attention. That's just not how I do it. So then kids are brought up in the conversation, and we bring up the fact that Raymond not only does Raymond have 5 kids, but it's 4 different baby mothers. Child, Alicia jumps in and says, you have a lot of children, and I am high maintenance. I was rocking with her then. But then she goes on to say, how can you pay for me and my 2 kids? With your 5 children, me and my kids, that's 8 people to support. Girl, are you out of your mind? You expect this man to financially support 5 kids plus you and your 2 children? We're going to get into that later because Miss Alicia with the tats, I'm about to get your ass all the way together. But anyway, David comes up, and David being guarded is a theme for this date. That's what they're talking about during this group date. And Joy mentions that, yes, David is guarded because David came to the house with shades and a hat, and David becomes defensive. And David says no one else came in with shades or a hat. He becomes a little bit defensive. And during their back and forth, David does one of these things where I came back to you. And Joy's like, don't put that finger in my face, child. You might lose it. So it's like a very awkward exchange. I'm like, oh, child, this group date is not turning out the way it should have. However, Symone jumps in and she talks about the whole guarded thing. And she opens up about her experiences dating and the relation of her dating to the relationship that she has with her dad. Now, her dad and her mom, they've been married for several years. I think she said 40 years. I don't know if I'm throwing that out of my head or whatever, but she said they've been together for a while. Symone says her dad loves her, but at the same time doesn't like her. So I get the impression that he was very critical towards Symone, and that shaped the kind of guy that Symone tends to date. Symone tends to date guys who are like her dad, who are overly critical, and she goes into a relationship that she had with someone for 7 years, and she as a new attorney, she had a big accomplishment. She was published as a new attorney, and the guy looked at the article and said, you forgot a comma, bitch. Symone says at that point she knew it was over, it was done, put a fork in it, this turkey has been cooked. And I'm like, girl, I appreciate you opening up like that, but you still need to make some connections in this house to stay. You're safe this week because a woman is not going home, but next week, child, see what you can do. It's pool party time. Brian and his fine ass put a pool party together, and somebody suggests a shirtless push-up contest, to which Brian took that shirt off, and the girls were like, oh. And then Andrew took his shirt off, and Winter's looking at Andrew like, sir, I didn't know you had all that to work with. Girl, neither did we. So during the pool party, Rashid is doing what Rashid does, which is being goofy. We get it. This is where I'm like, I don't like Denise. Denise and that chiseled chin of hers, that square chin, this chin, I don't like her. Because Rashid is doing what he's doing, being goofy and being corny off to the side somewhere. This is Denise being critical, just looking at him like, and then we pan over to Denise in her confessional, and she mentions that, listen, I don't have anything against Rashid, but he reminds me of a narcissist that I used to date. All right, there's that reminder there, but did you date him in the past? Because Denise has this hard-on for Rashid that is irrational. First episode, Rashid was trying to get to know her. She backed him the hell up, which is, that's her decision. If you don't mess with him, then you don't mess with him. But the fact that it seems like she's actually after him because she doesn't like him, or does she like him? But it seems like she's gunning for him, and it's not fair. So she has the really stink face on, and girl, your face is way too square to be so negative. So girl, don't do that. Even if you don't like him, try to smile, because smiling will give your face the softening that it needs. But anyway, she's there giving Rashid the stink face when Rashid is not doing anything but admiring all these beautiful black women in bathing suits. Girl, go ahead somewhere. Denise talking about, oh, I don't like him. Next. Girl, take your own advice. Next, move on. Focus on Kofani or Andrew or any of them other guys that you like, but leave Rashid alone. I felt like she was trying to bully Rashid, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So then we go to an evening mixer. It's evening time. All the sexy singles are talking. It seems like Rashid is trying to... It seems as if Rashid is trying to sell an image that's not organic to who he actually is. So by doing that, the conversation with the other ladies is awkward. And I have to say, thank God that Adriana is in this house, because if Adriana is not in this house, Rashid wouldn't have a damn chance in hell connecting with anyone or making it through the next episode. But he's talking to the ladies, and he mentions that he buys his pajamas from Nordstrom's. Nordstrom's? Nigga, you got to be out your damn mind. Nordstrom's? A bitch like me shops at Nordstrom's Rack, and that's during income tax time when I know I'm getting a healthy tax refund back. Child, it just made him seem so corny and trying too hard. And judging by the looks on the other ladies' faces, they agreed with me. Child, if you don't get your corny ass on. Denise and Kyle finally have a conversation. And looking at this scene, it further solidifies the fact that I don't like Denise. I don't like her energy. I don't know if she's, and please help me out. If you're watching this video and you don't care for Denise, please help me verbalize why you don't care for Denise so I can kind of understand it on my own. But it's like she doesn't seem pleasant. She doesn't have a laid-back personality. She's way too serious. She comes off as a ball buster. I'm not going to call her out of her name this review, but I'm pretty sure the way she's working my nerves, I'm about to call her something that's not on her mother's birth certificate. Just a fair warning. But I'm looking at that conversation, I'm like, oh, she's way too serious and stuck up and stodgy. And Kafani, irregardless of what I think, Kafani is digging her, and Kafani is digging the conversation. But I have to say to myself, and I'm wondering, is Kafani gonna like her 2, 3, 4 episodes from now? Because she's not likable. I'm not saying anything about her looks. I'm not. Although that chin is chiseled to perfection. My thing is her personality is not an easy one to get along with. Whereas Kafani seems like a laid-back gym rat. Those were Denise's words. I don't usually go for the gym rats, though you're a track and field coach and you're very athletic on your end. But all right, child, I'm going to leave that alone. But it's going to be very interesting to see if Kafani continues on with this prospect in Denise, or is he gonna see something in her that's like, yeah, I don't want it. I want someone a little bit softer, you know? David and Alicia play pool. Alicia goes in with a line of questioning that I don't understand. First, she asks David, are you the type of guy that likes to be in control? All right, a fair question, but again, I don't understand where she's going with this. Then she follows up with, if you like to be in control, do you control all the finances? Do you pay for everything? To which David answers, I'm single. I have no kids. You have 2 kids. How am I supposed to pay for everything? Alicia gets offended. Alicia says, when you date me, I come as a package. So you need to be financially responsible for me and your 2 kids. All right, this is when I'm gonna have to get into Alicia's ass. How dare you? I will say this, on David's end, he's a little bit young and he doesn't understand how to finesse a conversation or be strategic in answering it. So David and his young self replies, I'm not gonna pay for you and your children, which is absolutely fair. But if you wanna make it far in this game, then you have to take a step back and answer it in a way that doesn't take you out of the running for this show. You know what I mean? So David was too honest with his response. But I will say, Alicia, with your thick ass and them tattoos, girl, don't do it. How do you set an expectation for somebody to not only take care of you and your 2 kids? Alicia, where's your baby's father? Where is your baby's father? Because as a single mother, I'm a single mother of 2 young boys, and I'm not dating. I am single. However, when I do start dating, I will never, ever put the expectation for my boyfriend or someone that I'm seeing or someone that I'm trying to get to know to financially take care of not only me, but my kids. Get the entire hell out of here. Child, where's the kid's father? Alicia, where's your kid's father? For you to put that expectation on someone that you're trying to get to know. Get their entire fuck out of my face with that nonsense. Get the hell out of here. I'm trying to picture me, who's fiercely independent on my own right, to date somebody and have the expectation that he's supposed to take care of me, financially take care of me and my kids. I think what Alicia needs to do, Alicia needs to go call her baby's father, get the proper child support order in place so that the sperm that contributed to her having those kids will be financially responsible for her kids and leave young men like David alone. Get the entire hell out of here. I was looking at Alicia, her thick ass, like, girl, Don't look to date men as sponsors for your kids. You're responsible for your kids. Your baby's father is responsible for your kids. But don't put that on somebody that you're trying to date. I was looking at that scene like, oh my gosh. All right, so basically, Alicia is on this show to find somebody to take care of her 2 kids that her deadbeat baby daddy obviously cannot. Child, go find your baby daddy and leave these young men alone. It's going to be very interesting to see if Alicia's able to connect with somebody who is willing to finance her lifestyle and her 2 kids' lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, if Alicia finds herself in a situation, or if a single mother of kids finds themselves in a situation where they're married to somebody else, all right, then it's different. Now our finances are tied together. Now my kids have just become your stepkids. So yes, financially, we do need to reach an agreement where everyone's taken care of. But if your bold ass is expecting somebody that you're dating to pay for dinners, for Red Lobster dinners for you and them 2 kids and his other responsibilities, get the fuck out of here. And the fact that David is single too with no kids, and you really expect him to take that burden on himself? Child, girl, keep playing pool and shut the hell up. Another group date, and it seemed like so much fun. They're playing Jenga, but this must be the adult Jenga because it's a really big Jenga board, and every time you pull something out, there's a message, and you got to do it. Kind of like Truth or Dare Jenga. It was really cute, but this was organized by Brian, I believe, so we get into playing Jenga. Rashid is there, and of course, because Rashid is there and he's breathing, Denise has a twisted face, you know. Denise is shooting him daggers of death with her eyes. But anyway, Rashid pulls out a piece of the Jenga board or brick or block or whatever, and he reads it, and the block says, kiss someone. And Denise goes, oh, I know you're ready for this. I know you're ready for this. Trying to insert some kind of shade, but at the same time, girl, the way you're talking, it seems like you wanted a kiss from Rashid. Rashid didn't even look in Denise's way. Rashid went right to Adriana and planted a kiss on her pretty chocolate lips. Girl, bye. I'm starting to think Denise's issue with Rashid is the fact that she really wants to fuck him. Girl, who hurt you? So then Brian pulls out a block. It's a truth or dare block, and Brian dares Alex to kiss him. Child, no dare there. Alex is ready to. Tommy gets together with the ladies to determine who is going to be on the chopping block. On the chopping block, we have Rashid. The only person who put Rashid, well, the leader of the Let's Get Rashid Out of Here chopping block was Denise. Surprise, surprise. Denise says Rashid should go because he's a narcissist. And she mentions his narcissism has to do with the fact that he's light-skinned. Light-skinned? Girl, it seems your insecurities are showing. Light-skinned. All right, child. He's light-skinned. He's tall. He's a frat guy. So that makes him a narcissist. Adriana counters, I have not experienced any kind of narcissism from Rashid. In fact, Rashid is my man. And here's Denise's face like, this is my thing. Denise, if you don't like Rashid, that's fine. But the fact that you're gunning for this guy to be voted out of the house when he's made a connection with Adriana, that shouldn't be. The fact that you don't like him should not be the reason why he's being sent home. And this is what pisses me off about Denise. Denise, I'm gonna get in your ass for the rest of the season. This is what pisses me off. Listen, he's goofy. He's kind of corny to me, but I've never felt narcissism from his conversations with any of the ladies in this house. I really feel like there are underlying issues to why Denise does not like Rashid, but it's not fair for Rashid to be sent home because Denise has issues with a tall, light-skinned frat brother. Girl, who hurt you? Did you fuck a Kappa that never called you back? Did you want to fuck a Kappa? Girl, stop playing. Get over it. It's going to be really interesting to see where Denise falls. Anyway, child, Rashid's on the chopping block, which is bullshit. David is on the chopping block. And this is how I feel about David being on the chopping block. I agree with David being on the chopping block simply because I see that he has not connected with anyone. But the fact that Alicia wants to put David on the chopping block because he's not going to support her, or he's not willing to financially support her and 2 kids that he didn't bring into this world, girl, fuck you. Girl, bye. He should be on the chopping block, but that reason is bullshit. Girl, Alicia, go call your baby father and see what he can do for the 2 kids he put in this world and leave David the fuck alone. It's time to eliminate. We got Rashid facing elimination. We have David facing elimination. And of course, we have Raymond facing elimination. And I forgot to mention, Raymond and Adriana had a date. And Raymond mentioned that if I'm dating a woman, it's kind of like marriage. So why do we need to get married? Alicia called him on his bullshit. But Raymond ended up on the bottom 3 simply because of the fact that he's there and the women want to know, why is he here? You're 52, 5 kids, 4 different baby mothers. Are you on the show to get an additional baby mother? I don't get it. But anyway, he ended up in the bottom. Winter and her cute behind was talking to Rashid. Adriana was talking to Raymond, the 52-year-old musician. and Denise was talking to David. Again, another reason why I don't care for Denise and that square chin of hers, she took so much delight in being in a position of power to eliminate David. There was no compassion, there was no softness. But then you compare it to how Adriana was talking to Raymond, and there was so much softness. There was so much compassion. You can tell this is a message that she had to deliver. She didn't like delivering it. She had to, but she made it in a way that wasn't cruel. And this is where Adriana became my favorite, because her personality is like mine. I'm the type of person, I really care about what people think about me. So if I have news to deliver that's not the best, I sugarcoat it, or I just don't deal with it. I'm soft about it. And that's what I liked about Adriana. Denise is like, well, hold on, let me talk. And David's trying to plead his case, and she's rolling her eyes and, scrunching up that chiseled chin of hers. And I'm like, you're enjoying eliminating him way too much. Way too much. Girl, at the end of the day, Rashid was saved. And I have a feeling the reason why he was saved is because of at the end of the day, Rashid was saved. David and Raymond have been voted out. Good decisions, and I agree with it, especially with Raymond. Raymond, child, you need to, at 52 years old with 5 kids with 4 different baby mothers, that indicates to me that you are not ready for commitment. And these women are looking for commitment and eventually marriage. Go work it out with one of these babies' mothers, or be alone, because being in a relationship is not for you. You do not have the character for it. I said it. And David, you needed to go home, but the bullshit ass reason that Alicia gave was just what it is, bullshit. That's it. You guys have a happy Sunday. I'm about to finish Sunday dinner, which is oxtails, macaroni and cheese, and rice and beans for the kids. All right, guys, have a lovely one. I'll catch you in the next review. Please drop down in the comment box. What did you think about this episode? Ciao. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Help a sister out by liking. Help a sister out more by subscribing. Let's talk shit together. Peace.